So we're going to start using word problems to help illustrate a lot of these math principles, because most of the problems you're going to be working on are word problems, and most situations in real life are situations. It's not, you're not walking down the street saying, hey, I wonder what 2x plus 3 is today. Now, what we're going to do is, and I'm trying to break this down to make it a little easier. I like this graphic organizer. It organizes some of your thoughts in an interesting way. So what we're first going to do is we're going to read and try to understand this word problem, see what it's asking us for, and what kind of important pieces we might find. Then we're going to list what do we know, and then we're going to list what do we want to find out. Okay? And we're going to try to do all that before we attempt to solve it. Okay? And that'll make our life a lot easier to be able to kind of keep our pieces together. So the first thing I do is I read it. The table shows the total number of text messages that Maya sent over the 4 days. Write an equation, that's a typo, write an equation to find the total number of messages sent in any number of days. Use the equation to find how many text messages Maya would send in 30 days. Alright, if you're like me, reading over a problem once doesn't cut it. I don't get anything out of it, so I got to read it over again. So okay, start over. The table. What table? This table down here, this would be your table, and I'm sorry you can't really see the words very well, but this says number of days, D. Alright, and down here below it says total messages, M. So this is the number of days, and this is the total messages she has each of those days. So this is our table. Alright. Maya sent this over 4 days. So there's day 1, 2, 3, 4. Write an equation. So that's what we need to find. We need to write an equation. Write an equation. And we can read what kind of equation we need here, so I'm not going to write the rest of it. But we need to write an equation to find the total number of messages sent in any number of days. So there's going to be some variables here. Any number of days. So we're going to use that variable D. So what do we know? D is the number of days. So it sounds like we're going to use that as a variable. Use the equation to find out or find how many text messages Maya would send in 30 days. So we also need to find out how many texts in 30 days. Alright, so we need to write an equation and we need to figure out how many texts in 30 days. It looks like I got another variable here. M is the number of messages or text. Okay, number of messages or text. Alright, so let's take a look at this table again. Okay, if you notice, from day 1 to day 2, I just added 25 texts. 50 to 75 is another 25. And 75 to 100 is another 25. So it looks like I'm just continually adding 25. I know that when I'm repeatedly adding a number, it would be the same. Like when I set up my equation for the D day, all I'm doing is I would end up multiplying by that 25. Well, let's look across here. 1 to 25, 2 to 50, so 1 times 25 is 25. 2 times 25 is 50. 3 times 25 is 75. And 4 times 25 is 100. Alright, so that works. So I know that I'm going to have a formula. It's going to look like this. 25 times D. Alright, so 25 times D. That's because I'm increasing every day by 25 messages. And this is the number of days. And what I should get is the total amount of messages. So I found an equation, okay, and I used this chart. All right, well, what am I going to do now? Well, I need to figure out how many texts there are in day 30. So 25 texts a day for 30 days. And I solve this, I get 750 text messages. So this is my solution. So then, see, so I didn't use tons of work, but all that breaking down the word problem, figuring out what we know and what we need to find, and then kind of analyzing this table, that really helped me figure out the two pieces that I needed. So I didn't have to do a ton of work. And some of you could even do this in your head, which is okay, but I really want to make sure that you understand how to look at a word problem, read it, write what you know and don't know, and find out and remember what we're trying to figure out. because many times people make mistakes because they don't finish reading the question. They don't read the question at all. They just look at the table and write an equation. But let's explain the answer a little bit. This answer says state your answer. So Maya sends 750 messages by day 30 or on day 30. Okay. All right. Explain what you did and justify your steps. Well, Maya is sends 25 texts each day, or 25 texts in day 1, and increases it by 25 every day. So after day 30, she's 30, she would have 30 times 25 messages. Now you can write this in your own words, but basically what you're trying to do is you're trying to justify what you did and make sure that it works. Make sure that it makes sense. If your explanation doesn't make sense, then maybe your work might not be quite right. If you don't understand your work in the context of this problem, then something needs to, you need to rethink kind of what you did. Okay, make sure it's right. So this is kind of how your word problem should all be set up. All right, you need to have some work and you need to write stuff. Now, do the blanks need to be filled completely? No, but you do need to have something. In an attempt to kind of help you out, I'm going to work out number 2. Okay. But number 2, it works kind of like this. A water park charges a rental fee plus $2 per hour for lockers. The total cost of 5 hours is $13. Assume the relationship is linear. Find the rate of change in the rental fee. All right, let's reread that. The water park charges a rental fee. Okay. I don't see anywhere in here it tells me where that rental fee is. So I know I don't know the rental fee, so I am going to use the R and say that's my rental fee. Okay, but it says something here. It says a rental fee, I'm going to box this, a rental fee plus $2 per hour. So not only do I got a rental fee, but I also have $2 per hour. $2 per hour. And then we know, or should know, $2 per hour, that's the same thing as saying 2 times how many ever hours I'm working. So, and I'll just put H equals hour. All right. So I got 2 parts here. I got a rental fee and I got $2 per hour. The total cost of 5 hours is $13. So 5 hours is $13. Okay. All right. Assume the relationship is linear. That's fine. Find the rate of change in the rental fee. So we need to find the rate of change, and we need to find the rental fee. All right. Well, I don't know the rental fee, but I know the rental fee plus my $2 an hour. Okay. It's going to give me how much I'm going to spend on the day, because it says a rental fee plus $2 per hour. So there you go. I know that if H equals 5, if the hours are 5, then my cost is going to be $13. So how can I write that? Well, that means I don't know what the rental fee is, but I know if I'm working 5 hours, so replacing H with 5, I should get $13. So then I got a rental fee plus $10 equals 13. And if I solve for R, rental fee, so subtract 10 from both sides, rental fee is equal to, or subtract 10, excuse me, 13 minus 10 is 3. All right, so there is my rental fee. But what's the rate of change? this would be your rate of change. This $2 per hour is your rate of change. If I get paid $10 an hour, that's my rate of change. If I'm driving 70 miles per hour, that's a rate of change, the miles per hour. We're comparing two quantities, right? Miles to hours, gallons per minute, meters per second. So when I come down here to explain myself, you do the best you can to give details. You know the rental fee is $3. And how do you know that it's $3? Well, if I paid $13 for 5 hours, then 10 of those dollars is for just the locker. So the other $3 must be for the rental fee. Okay. And then I know when the rate of change is $2 per hour, right? So try number 3, try number 4, try them by yourself, and I'll post another video where we will talk a little bit more about those. But I'll do that at another time.